Hi, this is Alex from Groovy Entertainment. Today we got another movie collection episode. This is like my part two of my comic book collection, a movie form. Now, last time we had talked about the DC collection of mine, and that was real big. That was a big video. This video will not be as long as that one. 'Cause I don't got that much DC or Marvel stuff to talk about. So we're gonna talk about my first two Marvel movies from the 40s. This one, Captain America, from 1943, and this was a stereo, so you had to go to the theater, I think, every Saturday to see what happened next. And then Captain Marvel. Now I know Captain Marvel ain't really a Marvel comic. This was by itself comic. This one was beating out Superman at the time. But because I only got this one, and he was a superhero, I just stuck him with the Marvel stuff. And I know people talking about Captain Marvel, but they're not talking about this one. They're talking about that new one. And there was a Captain Marvel TV show that came out in 1974 that they had to change the name to Shazam when Captain Marvel went to Marvel. So in a sense, this is a Marvel superhero. He but he was a big giant man with a mask over his face with the he looks like a Marvel superhero of the 60s. He so this one. Then we had another Captain Marvel in the 60s. We had like four or five Captain Marvels before they got to the TV show. But this guy looked like the TV show Captain Marvel. And then we wouldn't see no more superheroes until the 60s for the Marvel stuff. Because Marvel wasn't that popular, as you see. They wouldn't you wouldn't see another superhero nothing until 1966 when they released Thor, Iron Man, Captain America came back, boy, 23 years later. You would see Hawk, some Submerged, and Fantastic Four came out in 67. But you got to see all these superheroes that came out in 66. Now, this is when Marvel was real big in, 60s, in the 60s. These books came out in the early 60s. If you watch my Marvel book review episode, I talk a little more, not much, but a little more detail about the books. So this is the cartoon that came out here. I think it came out in Canada, and it came to the United States a couple months later. Now these are real good. These are like watching the comic books in action. Because the way they drew them and the way they filmed them and everything. Then we wouldn't. Spider-Man came out in '67. Now Spider-Man was moved like a real cartoon instead of that comic book kind of movement. And then this was real good. It had every Spider-Man villain of the time. I think it missed out on three of them because they came out in the '80s. But you got every villain that he ever fought in this TV show. And this thing ran from 1967 to 1970. And we got okay, we can't show that. Then Fantastic Four came out in 1967 also. It's part of this. It's right. It's now these are bootlegs. I don't got the original show because the original show came out in Canada and came out in England. But now the Canada copy is they kind of don't got no more of it. So England got a hold of these, released them, and because I don't got a machine that can play foreign stuff, I can't buy it. But you can find these bootlegs anywhere, and I'm hoping one day we get a USA a US copy of these good cartoons so we can see these 10 times better than what I'm looking at in these DVDs. And then we wouldn't see no more superhero stuff until 1977 Now, 1977 bought the Amazing Spider-Man to screen, and that was a real good one. They had a nice. It, it was yeah, it was wonderful, and it ran from then in '78 we had another Spider-Man movie called Spider-Man: The Deadly Dust, and that was just as good as the first movie. And then now I don't got these things, but I know they came out. '78 '77 brought another superhero to the live and to the TV screen. The Incredible Hulk came out in '77 and '78. Well, the movie came out in '77. The TV show came out in '78, and it lasted for a long time. This is kind of dusty. I shouldn't have done that. But now this is what they released about 2 years ago. Now they re-released these shows in a smaller container, so you don't be killing yourself with this heavy box. Well, we go in order. Then this show still was playing. Spider-Man got canceled in '79 because CBS didn't want to be known as a comic book station. Well, when I got canceled, you had Doctor Strange from 1978. That was a ABC movie. Then in 1979, you had Captain America. Now Captain America came back 3 times if you think about it. He came back in the '40s. He came out in the '40s. Came out in the '60s. Now he's back in the '70s. And then he came. Then he was so the TV movie was so great. They made a part two to it, and that came out. And that came out in '79 also. So, and so Captain America is their more popular character. It seemed like. Yeah, he came out 4 times. Then the Incredible Hulk was so being popular. And in 1981, Spider-Man came out for his second showing, or for his third showing. Spider-Man the '81 content. And in that same year, Spider-Man and his Amazing Friends came out. Now this show ran first from 1980, '81. I think it ran just for '81, and then this ran. I think the DVD came out. Yeah, a little DVD came out, and then Spider-Man and his Amazing Friend ran from '81 to '82, or '81 to '83. By the time this show came out, by the time this show was running, Incredible Hulk got canceled. But they would bring back the Incredible Hulk in 1982 as a cartoon that was real good. I seen 2 episodes of it back in the '80s, and they bought Spider Woman in 1979 as a cartoon also. And Spider Woman was John. I think Hanna-Barbera did that, and that was real good. It didn't run long. I think it ran for 10 episodes. So, and that's hard to find too. I think the only way you can watch it is if you were able to record it back in the '70s, or if you are on YouTube. And the then after that, the superhero craze kind of disappeared for a while. The DC stuff was real popular stuff. There was no more Marvel stuff, but DC was all over the place. We wouldn't see another Marvel anything until 1988, a year after Superman 4 came out. Now they were going to make a Spider-Man movie in 1988, but it didn't work out because They were gonna make it during Superman 4. Superman 4 failed, so that went with it. So the Return of the Incredible Hulk came out in 1988, and in this one you got four. Four fights with the Incredible Hulk against people that want to destroy the planet or something. And then when this came out to TV, I don't know who came out first, Batman or the trial of Incredible Hulk. Now the trial of the Incredible Hulk had the Kingpin, it had Daredevil, and that was it in this one. So the Daredevil were trying to kill trying to and kill the Kingpin for killing his father, and the Incredible Hulk just got mixed up in it. And then you want to see another. You want to see no more Marvel stuff until let's see when this came out. Just to be on the safe side. Okay, you want a year later in 1990, this came out. Now this was the last Incredible Hulk anything. This was the death of the Incredible Hulk. This is when the Incredible Hulk dies, and David Banner gets rid of the demon once and for all. This would be the last Marvel. This would be the last Marvel anything for TV. Because they didn't make any Marvel movies at this time at all. We won't see anything from them until 1990. Oh, you had the Fantastic Four that came out in 1994. I think that came out first, and then Spider-Man, the animated series, came out in '94. Now this was real good. This was as good as the six as all the other Spider-Man content, and this had every Spider-Man bad guy and more now because now you get to talk about the '80s and the '90s bad guys. So you got to get 20 times more bad guys than from the earlier series, and this was real good. Now this lasted until '98. By that time, I don't think there was no Marvel stuff in '98. So this show, then you had Spider-Man Unlimited from 1999 to 2001. Now, I could be wrong, but I don't think there was. Okay, there was a Captain America movie that came out in 1990, and that's when he fought the Red Skull. And I don't know if it was a TV or a movie. That came out in 1990. That was Captain America was the biggest thing, and they kept bringing him back. They left off everybody else, but they kept bringing Captain America back. So this was 2001. Then MTV got a hold of Spider-Man 2 years later and released this one, MTV Spider-Man from 2003. Now I've seen a little bit of this one, maybe one episode, and I've seen one episode of Spider-Man Unlimited. Now they was confusing to me because he was from another set of comic books that I never read. So they took place in they took place in that universe. And because I never read them comic books, I was kind of lost. Then I think they released a whole bunch of Marvel stuff in the 2000s. Fantastic Four, X-Men, Iron Man 4, and all that. And to be funny, that if you can see it, that poster over my head came out in 1985. But that was not a movie. But that became a movie last year. And you probably already know most of the people died in the movie. I don't know if they did it in the comic book because I didn't read the '85 comic books. And they still making a movie today. They just made the last. They just made a Captain Marvel, a female version of that character, and a big Marvel superhero movie. He didn't have last year or this year also. So that was it. It wasn't big because I didn't have that many movies. And like I said, Marvel didn't really come out with a lot of stuff. They were only big in the 2000s era, in the 90s. They weren't really that big, you could say. They were more big in book form. So I hope you like this video a lot. Please like and subscribe, share and comment, and have a groovy day. And we'll have another episode come out real soon.